Hi, this video we're going to discuss about distribution of reserves to the existing partners. You guys know that this is one step in solving the partnership problem next to opening revaluation account. In the previous video we saw how to open a revaluation account and derive at a profit or a loss and divide it among the old partners. Similarly, the next step is distribution of all old reserves to the existing partners. When it comes to distribution of reserves, we've already discussed there are various reserves like general reserve, workmen's compensation reserve, investment fluctuation fund. General reserve, there is nothing much to say because it is very simple. You simply divide it to all the partners in the old ratio. But when it comes to workmen's compensation reserve, that is where I know students get stuck because there are like various scenarios involved in workmen's compensation reserve. So here we are going to discuss about all various scenarios you will come across with workmen's compensation reserve and how to pass entries and all that. If you are very good with this, you will not make any mistakes with regards to workmen's compensation reserve. Okay, now I have taken an example where in the books the workman compensation reserve stands at 90,000. When I say books, in the balance sheet liability side the workman's compensation reserve shows 90,000. And in adjustment I have taken three scenarios. Scenario 1, when there is no claim, there is no workmanization claim. Scenario 2, there is a claim of 45,000, and scenario 3, it's 99,000. Okay, now case 1, how are we going to deal? I've already explained to you what workman's compensation reserve is all about. It's a specific reserve created for the purpose of meeting any claims relating or regarding workman's compensation. So in case 1, there is no claim, meaning there is no claim to be met out of the reserve. In that case, the reserve is treated just like a general reserve and it is transferred to the existing partners. Here I have assumed the old ratio to be equal. So I have just divided that equally among the old partners. So the entry goes like this: workmen's compensation reserve account debit to A's capital account to B's capital account. There is no claim, so I have simply distributed the reserve to all the partners. But let's take the second scenario. There is a claim of 45,000. So which means when there is a claim, it has to be met out of the reserve. That's what I told you already. So we're going to meet that claim out of the reserve. After meeting the claim, if there is any amount left out with the reserve, then that will be divided among the partners in the old ratio. So that's the general logic. If at all there is a claim, first it will be met out of the reserve. If there is any pending amount after meeting the reserve, that will be divided among the partners. If there is no amount pending, then you don't need to give it to any of the partners. So in this case, I have 90,000 in my reserve. My claim is 45,000. So I am meeting that claim out of the reserve. So after meeting the claim, I am left out with 45,000 in my reserve. That 45,000 I am dividing among the old partners equally. So that's how they get this 22,500 each. So the entry goes this way: from workman's compensation reserve, I am giving it to claim 45,000. The balance amount I am dividing it among the old partners in the old ratio. I keep repeating all this because be it revaluation account, be it distributing general reserve or any other reserve, all this is done in the old ratio because it is divided among the old partners. So you don't need to get confused. It is only in one case, which is the new goodwill sacrificing ratio plays a role. Otherwise, it's always old ratio. Let's go to case 3. Case 3, if you see, the claim amount is more. It is 99,000. But if you look at the reserve, what we have in hand is only 90,000. Again, I'm repeating, if there is a claim, it will be met out of the reserve to the amount available in the reserve. Here the claim amount is more, even more than the reserve that we have here. So I'm using the entire 90,000 to use the claim. But still there is a shortage of 9,000 more because the claim is 99,000. So I'm using the entire workman's compensation reserve. I have 90,000 in my reserve. I'm using the entire workman's compensation reserve to meet the claim. Still I need 9,000 more. So whenever there is a shortage, we use the revaluation account. So I'm using revaluation account for the 9,000 difference. So total 99,000 is utilized for the claim. So in this case, what happens? The reserve that we have is not sufficient enough to meet the claim. So even after meeting from the reserve, 9,000 amount is more as a shortage. So I've used the revaluation account. When I use the revaluation account, what does that mean? It means it's an extra amount that we have used which partners has to contribute naturally. So this is like a loss on revaluation which the partners has to bear. So for that case, you need to pass another journal entry, because now in the case of case 3, there is a loss of 9,000 which the partners has to meet. So I'm going to debit the partner's capital account. So it's A's capital account debit, B's capital account debit to revaluation account. Nothing but 9,000. Since I assume they are equal partners, it's going to be 4,500 each. If you understand, we did not pass this entry in case 1 or case 2. It's only in case 3 there is an extra entry. Reason being, the reserve is not sufficient enough, so it has resulted in an extra loss of 9,000 more. That 9,000 has to be borne by the partners. And any loss of profit arising will always go through your revaluation account. That is why this entry is into place. This is something that students generally miss out. So you need to make a note of this. If you understand this concept, workmen's compensation reserve becomes very clear. Apart from these 3, you're not going to get any other scenarios as such with workmen's compensation. Okay, so we have already dealt with general reserve and workmen's compensation reserve. In the next video, we'll discuss about investment fluctuation fund. Hope this concept is very clear. If you have any doubts, please comment below or write to me at academicsforyou@gmail.com. Thank you so much.